A few weeks ago I came across a news article about a wedding photographer being robbed at gunpoint in broad daylight. He was outside the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco taking wedding photos. Michael Scott's got him in photo. So as photographers, how do we protect ourselves and our expensive gear from this seemingly ever-growing nonsense? Despite having a bit of self-defense training, I'm just a photographer looking to enjoy the outdoors and maybe capture the occasional stunning landscape. As a photographer, I've been traveling and carrying gear for quite a few years. So I thought I'd share some ideas and lessons that I've learned throughout my travels. And indeed, there's one tool above all that I believe just offers the best defense against being a victim of a violent crime. And that's a very large and powerful hand grenade. These are the... No, I'm just kidding. Awareness is the best tool. Being aware of your surroundings at all times, in my opinion, is simply the best defense against being a victim of a crime. There's always going to be someone that's out to pull the wool over our eyes with a sleight of hand or just take advantage of someone that's not paying attention. I know it just sounds easy, but being constantly aware of your surroundings is really not that simple. I think you have to train yourself to stay focused on everything that's going on around you. As photographers, many of us frequently shoot in popular areas where the likelihood of being a victim of a crime is high. While I've never been robbed, thank goodness, I've certainly been in my fair share of situations that I honestly believe that had I not been aware of my surroundings, I would have been a victim. And sometimes just making eye contact with someone can be enough to let them know you're paying attention and maybe even foil their plans. Just making it known that you're paying attention can be all the difference. And of course, showing your would-be attackers that, you have military surplus grenades as well. I think that's pretty helpful. But, no, I'm kidding. On a serious note though, here are some things that I've learned that I feel have truly helped me out of potentially bad situations. So when you arrive at a location, the best thing you can do is just pay attention and look around. Look for people maybe sitting in parked cars. And depending on the area and the time of day, this can be a real concern. For example, maybe you're meeting a family at a popular destination for a fall photo shoot and you notice someone sitting in their car. Now, more likely than not, this is just another photographer waiting on their group to show up. But you notice the car doesn't have a license plate. And these are the moments where being aware pays dividends. And all I'm saying is be aware and take note of your surroundings. And when those little hairs on the back of your neck start standing up, it's time to listen to that inner voice and trust your instincts. You'll always be in a better position to make good decisions if you have all the information. And I'm not saying run around constantly paranoid, but being prepared is certainly wise. And truly, we never know the situations where we avoided being a victim. We only know the situations when we became a victim. Also, be aware of people watching you, kind of following you around, see what you're doing, and don't lead them back to your residence. In fact, I saw another story that involved yet another San Francisco photographer in the Bay Area. He was followed home and then he was robbed. Here's some no-brainers in my opinion. Don't advertise you're a photographer on your vehicle with stickers or large magnetic signs. And don't advertise with name brand gear logos on your camera bags. Find other bags that don't have these logos on them. And above all, don't leave your bag and your tripod in your car just in plain view. We may not be able to prevent a crime, but we can certainly reduce or maybe even eliminate the opportunity. Some other things that can truly help, I think, is just act confident. Look like you're a professional that belongs there at that scene. And be aware of potential scams like people asking you to hold something, or the two-person scam that involves someone distracting you while another just slyly relieves you of your property. Never underestimate the creativity and the raw determination of someone with a criminal mind. Also, larger parties are less appealing than someone alone. Bring a friend that can help watch your back while you're immersed in your photography session. And when you're on location, keep your gear close and in front of you, not behind you. And trust me, I know, it's easy to get distracted. Also, wearing your bag across your body and not over the shoulder can make snatching your bag much more difficult. And it can be a simple deterrent that causes a thief to look for an easier target. All this may sound pretty good, but we may not be able to do anything at all. If someone's determined enough to relieve you of your property, they're going to give it a try. Therefore, you have to have a plan of what you intend to do in the event the unthinkable does happen. And one thing you can do to kind of lessen the impact is limit what you bring. In other words, if you don't need it, leave it at home. Also, use Apple AirTags or other kind of GPS tracking devices in your bag. These can be attached to your bag or even a keychain. In fact, these can be hidden in your bag or hard to remove. They can be zip tied in. Use an eAlarm to tether to your bag. You can zip tie the eAlarm itself to your bag and then pull the cap to sound the alarm. The thief may have your bag, but that alarm is loud at 130 decibels. Who knows? He may end up dropping your bag as he's running away. The alarm is pretty versatile and you have a lot of options. For example, if you plan to leave your bag on the ground, maybe as you're doing your photo shoot, and you're concerned about that, you can actually tie the eAlarm to a tree or maybe a stake in the ground. And if someone grabs your bag, the alarm sounds. And as they pull it and run away, they're taking the alarm with them. So that's, kind of sounding as they're running away. And loud noises are always a good deterrent. It may be enough to convince a thief to drop your bag because he's, just not wanting to deal with it. And you're just not worth the trouble. Thieves, especially when it comes to crimes of opportunity, they prefer easier targets. Moving on to a couple other options. If you're a professional or a serious hobbyist, I highly recommend an insurance policy. Insurance can be a bit pricey, depending on your situation, but having that peace of mind may be worth it. Regardless, I recommend recording all the serial numbers from your gear, especially the cameras and lenses. Someone may have your gear, but it's traceable. You may never see it again, but you're going to want to punish those that took it. And having those serial numbers gives authorities a better chance of doing that. Lastly, I'll leave you with this thought. Whether you're a photographer or not, I recommend taking a self-defense class. I don't think you can go wrong with a little training, no matter what your situation may be. However, I think you have to ask yourself, what's most important in your life? It may come down to making a split-second decision, but the more prepared you are, the better chance you'll have of having a more favorable outcome. Depending on the situation, the best option may be to simply give up your gear and walk away, but you can still try to be a good witness. No one's gear is worth their life. And that said, being aware of your surroundings is the best defense against being a victim of a violent crime. And of course, carrying a heavy-duty military surplus grenade also helps. But maybe you might want to leave the pin in it though. I'm kidding though, no grenades. Well, I hope you found this video useful. And if you did, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe to the channel, be sure to hit that bell icon so that you receive notifications when I post new videos. And leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. And as always, if I don't see you down the road, maybe I'll see you on the trail.